Hey guys, Rich
and Britt here.
and we're right here in beautiful New York, and today my wife and I are going to talk about breaking free from isolation. You see, growing up there was this game that my wife and I would play growing up. It's a game that we
Not
loved.
together.
Not together. 'Cause we
I didn't know
each
him
other
back then.
But there was this game called hide and go seek. And what you would do is hide and go seek. You know the famous kids game. You go and you try to go and hide in the best places possible so nobody could find you. Well, I never forget it. There was this one time at my grandmother's house when we were playing this game and I hid, and I literally hid in the best place possible. I hid in my grandparents' fireplace. And seriously, nobody could find me. And I was there for like 10 or 15 minutes. Well, I was there for quite a bit of time. It was 10 to 15 minutes, and I realized that nobody could find me. Well, I got out of my hiding spot about 15 minutes later, and I realized that all my sisters and my cousins were out eating dinner. And I asked them, what are you guys doing? Why are you guys eating dinner? Aren't you guys playing the game anymore? And they said, no, Rich, we're not playing anymore. We're eating. We are done with that game. It was like 15, 20 minutes ago that we stopped playing. And I said, why didn't you get me? And they said, because I couldn't find you. You know, I know this is a childhood game, but how many people do we know here today that are doing the same thing? They're hiding their emotions, they're hiding their feelings, they're isolating themselves with people, and oftentimes the reason why they do it is because of fear, because of rejection, or even at times because they don't want to get hurt. So what they end up doing is they isolate themselves and they build walls, and whenever you build walls, you end up building your own prison, a prison where you're in there literally by yourself and nobody can get in. But God doesn't want you to live that way. You see, God wants you to be free, where you're not in a mode of isolation, but you're free, where you're willing to go and communicate with people, where you're able to live life, enjoy life, and have life more abundantly. That's why my wife and I today want to talk about breaking free from isolation.
So in the Bible, we read about a woman named Hagar, and if you don't know the story, we know that Abraham and Sarah couldn't have a baby, and so what Sarah encouraged Abraham to do was impregnate their maidservant. So when she ended up having a baby, Sarah got, let's say, jealous, and she was mean to Hagar, so much so that Hagar literally just ran away because she was heartbroken by the words that Sarah spoke over her life. And then an angel comes to Hagar and he says, you need to go back to Sarah. You need to go back to that place. And so if you're battling with isolation and you want to break free from that, the first thing that you need to do is you need to learn to confront your issues by going back to that place of pain. Because once you go back to that place of pain, that's where you'll find healing.
Yeah. Love, was there ever a time in your life where there were certain things that you may have needed to confront that was hindering you to be the woman that God has called you to be?
So funny, I went through that several times. I had a lot of people in my life that I had to forgive. I had to go back and I had to forgive my mother for the pain she caused me growing up. I had to forgive my pimp for pimping me out for several years. I literally went back to him and said, I just want to let you know that I forgive you. So I went back to several places of pain to just be able to release forgiveness. And in doing so, not only did it free the other person, it also freed me too.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
So the truth is that liberation comes from confrontation. You see, if you don't confront those hurt feelings, they're going to stay with you. And oftentimes my wife and I, we see people jump from relationship to relationship, but in reality, the reason why they're jumping from relationship to relationship is because they don't have freedom within themselves. So they're looking for comfort from other people. In reality, they don't have comfort within themselves. You see, when you live that way, you're not allowing yourself to live free, and you're not allowing yourself to give the best of you to somebody else. You can't do that. Why? Because you have issues that you need to deal with, and if you don't conquer your issues in the past, they will come up in the future.
So
that's why it's imperative for you guys to confront your issues. Don't go in isolation mode. Talk to somebody. You know, love. One thing that I love that Jesus did is that he was consistently talking to his Father.
Yes.
You know, the Bible teaches us that he was always hanging out on the mountain, talking to God, praying with God, and I think that's something that we need to learn to do on a consistent basis. We need to go and talk to God, and he'll talk to us about certain emotions, certain things that we need to deal with, certain past issues. And when we learn to do this, that's when we'll walk in true freedom, and that's when we'll be able to live the life that God has for us, and we'll be able to live it more abundantly.
So good.
But all this happens when you go and you confront the issues that have been hurting you. So with that being said, I hope this video has blessed you. My wife and I, we really are praying for you. We're believing that when you learn to confront these issues, you'll break away from isolation, and you'll live the life that God has called you to live. We love you. God bless you.
Bye.